I always believed that honesty was the backbone of any real relationship. But the night Leora laughed straight into my face, something inside me quietly fractured. We were squeezed together on our small apartment couch. She was flicking through her phone while I tried to bring up something that had been gnawing at me for months. Her ex, Rowan, the same Rowan she insisted was just a friend, even though he texted her late at night, called while we were together, and lingered in her life like a shadow she refused to acknowledge. When I gently asked if we could set some boundaries, she threw her head back and laughed as if I'd told her a joke. "I'm not cutting Rowan off just because you're feeling insecure," she said with a playful grin. "He's just a friend. Older. Stop being dramatic." Dramatic. That single word hit harder than yelling ever could. I didn't argue. I didn't push back. I simply said, "Okay." And that one quiet word shifted the entire course of my life. Because that same week, an unexpected door opened, a job offer, 6 figures, a firm in London. I had applied months earlier without much hope, and somehow I'd been selected. I stared at the email, wondering what Leora would say. Would she be proud, supportive, excited to build a new chapter with me? But then I remembered her laughter, her dismissal, how she defended Rowan with more passion than she had ever shown for us. So I accepted the job without telling her, without telling anyone. I quietly began preparing paperwork, travel plans, slowly pulling my life away from hers. Living next to her, while knowing I was already halfway gone, felt surreal and strangely freeing. The moment that hollowed out the last piece of me came 2 weeks later. I came home early, exhausted and starving. When I walked into the kitchen, Leora was humming while packing a dinner box. Rosemary chicken, the meal she used to make for me whenever I was going through something. But this one wasn't for me. She sealed the container, row for row with a little black heart on a sticky note, and tucked it inside. I stood there unseen, feeling everything inside me go unnervingly quiet. That night she reheated old leftovers for us. She said nothing about Rowan. I said nothing about the lunchbox. The silence between us thickened, and she either didn't notice or didn't care to. 3 more weeks passed. My flight was booked. My new flat in London secured. Half of my belongings already tucked into storage. She didn't notice the missing books, the empty dresser drawers, or the empty space inside me. Maybe she was too absorbed with Rowan. Maybe she just assumed I'd always stay. Then came the night everything finally split open. We were getting ready for bed when someone knocked, loud, impatient. Leora frowned, confused, until a voice called her name. "Rowan." She rushed to the door. I stayed in the hallway, leaning against the wall, listening. Rowan stepped inside the second she opened it, his expression sharp, his tone full of irritation. "Where were you today?" he demanded. "You said we'd talk. You can't just keep disappearing on me." Leora froze, glancing at me and then back at him. "Rowan, it's late. You can't just show up like this." "I've been trying to help you," he muttered, lowering his voice but not his anger. "You told me you were unhappy. Did you tell him yet?" "Tell me what?" I asked. Before Leora could answer, Rowan spoke again. "She's been spending her days at my place," he said, like it was something obvious. "She says she feels trapped, says she misses who you used to be. I figured she'd have told you by now." Leora went pale. "Rowan, stop. That's not—" "Oh, come on," he groaned. "Just say it. You want out." She stared at me, shaking, desperately trying to find a lie that didn't exist. Still, I didn't yell. I didn't demand explanations. I simply walked to the closet and pulled out the suitcase I had already packed. Both of them froze. "Wait," Leora whispered. "I'm leaving," I said softly. "You can't just walk away," she cried. "I'm not walking away," I replied. "I left weeks ago. I just didn't feel the need to announce it with laughter." "Left? Moved on." Her voice broke. "Where are you going?" "London." Her face crumpled. "London for what?" "My new job," I said calmly. "I accepted it a month ago." Silence dropped over the room like the air had been sucked out. Even Rowan looked stunned. "You didn't tell me," she whispered. "No," I said. "You made it clear whose feelings mattered most." She reached for me, pleading, "Allah, wait." We can fix this. I didn't mean... Rowan scoffed behind her. Leora, you don't have to. Don't speak for her. I snapped. The first time my voice had cracked with anger. Even he stepped back. Leora's tears finally spilled. The kind that come when regret shows up far too late. She grabbed for my arm. I pulled away. You cooked dinner for him, I said quietly, and reheated scraps for me. That told me everything. She sobbed harder. I didn't realize. I know, I said. That's the problem. I rolled my suitcase out the door. Neither of them followed. 2 months later, settled into my new life in London, I received a long email from Leora. She said she finally understood the boundaries I'd begged for. Said Rowan wasn't the friend she believed he was. Said she regretted not treating me like someone worth keeping. I didn't reply. Some endings don't need closure.